Okay, so I can't seem to find the torque settings on these, but there's a couple videos I watched with other people building transmissions, and it seemed like around 30 foot-pounds should do. So I'm just going to use 30 foot-pounds. And that feels pretty tight. And if for some reason I find out later that that's not enough, then I can always crawl back underneath the car and re-torque them. It's not hard to get to. Okay. And this feels pretty good. Feels like a good tightness. So most of the bolts seem pretty easy with that. This one right here you might need an extension for. It was kind of hitting right there. So, okay. So that's torqued and everything's put together pretty good. I think the next thing I'm going to do is this rear shaft bushing or seal right here, and just like everything else, you want to lube it up real good. Bless you. Me. Whatever. So, I don't know if I said this a minute ago, but I put this wood under there to sturdy up my table. It wasn't sturdy enough. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this with oil in here. Or grease. I keep saying oil, but I guess it's more of a grease. But I think you get the hint. So that's pretty good. I'm going to slap this on, so I'm not going to be able to get in there. So I'll grease that up afterward. I'll put a little grease on here. But I saw this guy on Gearbox videos, and he uses this, the gasket maker. It's the same stuff I use on this gasket here, but he puts it on the outside. I may not need to, but I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit on there. Just, he's a professional, so. Just smear it around, and I'll put a link to that guy's YouTube channel, because he's the one who wrote the book on rebuilding manual transmissions. Literally. So I'm just going to kind of press that a little bit. Find something to pound it on with. It seems to me that these used bearings are coming in handy. Oh, it fell off. Look at that. Because they slide right over the shaft. And I can beat on them all I want. So if you don't plan on reusing your bearings, reuse them for something else, like beating on this wheel. Seems to be working. And look at that, not even touching the shaft. And then I can go around, do an extra tap. Look at that. Perfect. Trying to just kind of wipe off some of the excess oils off the outside. Try to keep it clean. Okay, so the rear seal's in. That looks good. So I need to get some sealant, but here's a plug. This is your feel hole where you fill the transmission with oil when you're ready. So I'm gonna have to plug that. I'm gonna paint it and plug it. Get some kind of a, I don't know, Teflon tape or something. Alright, so I'm gonna turn this over, and then one of the next things to do is I'm going to get this on some softer material first, because I'm probably scratching at the bottom of this, just like that. And then it'll probably spin a little better, yeah. Anyway, so here's the front of the transmission, and so that here's the one of the next things. So that we got to do. So this thing here, it's all dried and cracked, so we got to remove that, and then we got to put in the new one, which I showed you earlier. Looks like this. Now keep in mind, you see the way that it's flat on one side? It looks like they push this one in with the flat side down. I don't know that that's the right way to do it, and I can't find anything to tell me. I don't know who rebuilt this or if it's been rebuilt. I don't know if that's the way it comes, but it's got to get changed, and I want to make sure it goes in the right way. So I have this this little book I made. I had it laminated, but it's a PDF that I got offline. I'll put a link to it, but it doesn't really show that gasket, the changing out of that gasket, and it really isn't. It gives you a couple pointers, but nothing exact in some areas, so kind of have to guess. Considering that they put it in that way, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same way they did it. So now we got to get it out, and most of the time I've found that a screwdriver is the best way to do it, but we'll see. It's going to be a little bit harder than just a screwdriver. Might have to do some pounding, so let me see. But this one definitely needs to get replaced. The rubber's all dried. It's dried like crazy. It's just breaking right off. So we do need to. It's definitely got to come out. So Let's see. That was the best way. I have a feeling this transmission was rebuilt from its original manufacturer's build from the factory. Mainly due to the fact of its age is one of them. The second thing is I don't know that they used these orange gaskets. That's gonna be hard to get out. You can't really do any type of cutting. Nothing's in there tight, so you have to come up with something. I can't reuse it. There's no choice. It's got to come out no matter what because it was dry rotted. I might be able to pound into it and bend it out. I'm just afraid of damaging anything else. So set it on the ground here and see if I can pound. So I got it out using this pick. Actually just kept pounding on it and bending the side a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just kind of spun out because I was hitting it at an angle, I guess, and it spun out. So now I'm going to clean it up, make sure there's no parts in there that don't need to be in there, pieces of that aluminum tin or whatever it's made of. Okay, so now we got the new gasket. It feels like it's on the ground. Oh God. Keep dropping everything. So it's kind of rubbery. The other one was, you know, like aluminum tin on the outside. This one has a rubber coating. I don't know that that's gonna benefit it in the failing or non-failing department, but yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. I started pressing it in already. That was easy. Okay. Looks like I could just press it in by my hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this red sealant stuff just right into the corner here, just for fun. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and press this in the same direction that the other one was. I don't know that that's the right way, but this one's kind of going in by hand mostly. Can't use the bearing on this one, so I can probably use like a socket or something. Let me find something here. Something that someone else could possibly use as well. Yeah, this is like a bearing removal kit. You pound this down. Let's see if it Doesn't feel like it's down all the way. It's not down all the way. Let's keep pounding. This is down all the way though, on the outside. I really think that's not the right way to do it, but it's too late now because it's in there. I don't care. Let's see if this one's better. That one might damage it. That could damage it too if I don't do that right. It's still not in all the way. So keep going. Looks like it's almost down all the way. Just gotta find something to hit the edges with that's not gonna break it. Still not down all the way. See if this is okay. I'm starting to see the sealant press out, so I know I'm getting close. Still don't like the way it's going in, or this direction. I think it's wrong, but oh well. The sealant's pressing down around the edges. So. Well, we'll know if I get a transmission leak, right? Then I'll just have to take it all apart and redo it. So, that'll be my time. Okay, so the other thing I was looking at, so you see this groove here? It goes in this direction. Okay, so let me lube this up. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. I need to get the gasket out. Okay, lube it up real good. Here's the gasket. There's two gaskets in this kit, and obviously one of them needs that groove and the other one doesn't. So goes like that. So the holes are a little off, right? And actually, it don't need this. It don't even need that. It's way past the hole. It's nowhere near that hole, see? It's not even near the hole. So I'll use this one just because it's wider. It looks like it'll line up just fine. So let's wipe this again. Put some of this on here. Go around the holes. So this whole pattern, I probably should have marked it, but let's see. Does it look like that? Oh, check this out. I'll do it like this. That don't line up. That lines up right there. So this goes like this. See that? So I'm gonna go ahead and put some on here as well, around the bolt holes. Like that. So again, the groove goes with that hole down there. So you should be able to just slide this right on. Kind of work it on there. Look at that. Right into place. So now I'm going to put the bolts in and torque them. I'm not sure what the torque is on them, but I'm gonna, I don't know, maybe go 30 as well. These are the bolts. So I take the stuff off and I label it on Ziploc bag. That way they don't get lost. Okay, so these are a bolt and lock washer. Go ahead and start them. Normally I would paint these, but they've been there this long and they're not rusted through or anything. They have a little bit of surface rust, and no one's ever going to see them. So I don't think it's really necessary to paint them. I don't know if 30 is too much for this bolt, I can go less. I can go 25 or something, I don't know. I don't think it really needs to be very tight. But we'll see. This looks like it's a 1/2 inch. It looks like there's sealant on the bolt here. One of the things that I've seen in some of these videos is you're not supposed to put any kind of sealant in the hole itself. Maybe some Loctite or something, but no sealant into the hole. So maybe on this one I will though, because this bolts into the casing, I believe. Let me double check that. If it bolts all the way into the casing, I'm going to put some oil in it. It does, so I'm going to put a little bit of, it doesn't bottom out, so it's completely open, so I'm going to put some of this on the threads. Okay? Just to seal that hole when it's screwing in case any oil wants to leak out through the bolt itself. So I'm going to take these all out and put a little bit of that. Now if it was a hole and it bottomed out, there was no exit, then I guess it causes some hydraulic ramming in there and could bust the case. I don't know if it's true with these steel cases or cast iron, whatever it is, but I think it's definitely happens on the aluminum cases. So, but either way, we're safe to do it on these bolts here because there's no bottom. That should seal good. Now, one of the things I noticed when taking this apart, the gasket that was on this front shaft cover, this thing, the gasket between here was kind of thick. Now, I don't know if that's going to make a difference on anything, but the new one wasn't as thick, so hopefully that doesn't cause any clearance problems. Okay, so now I got to get a socket that size. It looks like a 1/2 inch. So I got a wrench here. I'll crank them down with a wrench first. And I don't know if this is necessary, but I kind of like to go across, not in a circle. Just kind of like if you tighten a tire, a rim, I mean, putting your tire in your car, just to get a good, you know, even tightness around. I'll crank all these down. This is pretty tight, so try to do about the same on all of them, and then I'll go through and torque them. And that's the front shaft, and that completes it.